Hello, everyone. Welcome back to VOC Exclusive Interview. We have three lovely people, Esther, Benjamin, and Miss Shine. First of all, welcome, guys. We sincerely appreciate your participating in this hybrid congressional briefing that happened on February 3rd. And they talk about Burma escalating human rights and religious freedom violations, targeting minority Christians, and your advocacy is vital in amplifying the voices of like Chin youth and advancing the democracy movement in Myanmar. So we want to invite you guys for this interview to share your insight and the briefing, the takeaways from the engaging with like U.S. policymakers, also from like NUG officials and perspectives of the challenges facing youth today. So your voice is very crucial in raising awareness and mobilizing international support. We believe truly on that. And then we want to say thank you so much for your time and sharing your wisdom and insight. Please share a little bit about your background, your work, what inspired to become involved in advocacy for the Chin people and Myanmar's democracy movement. So we can start with Esther.
Thank you so much for having us, VOC. It's an honor. Like Elvin mentioned, my name is Esther. It's my first time here, so nice to meet everyone. I hold a Master of Public Health degree with a focus on health policy and management, and I'm currently doing my internship at Decatur County Health Department. And I also serve as the coordinator of advocacy and research at the Chin Association of Maryland. My passion for advocating for the Chin people and Myanmar's democratic movement is, I would say, deeply rooted in my faith and the blessings that I have received throughout my entire life. I believe that God has placed each of us in, including the Chin people, and especially the fact that how we are so spread out throughout the entire world. I believe that there is a purpose in that, and that purpose is to be able to contribute to the development and for our future and our country. And especially during these challenging times like these, I believe that we must step up and do our part. It's our time and chance to write a good history, something that our future generation will be proud of when they look back at this period in time. So I believe that if we fail to act when our people and country need us the most, we may miss the opportunity to write that meaningful and positive story for the future generation. So that sense of responsibility and duty, it's something that drives me to engage in this important work. Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. All right, May.
Hi everyone, VOC team and tonight audience. So my name is Mei Shai. This is my second time coming back to VOC. Thank you for having me and my team tonight. So currently I'm pursuing my Master of Degree International Affairs, Elliott School in George Washington, focusing in U.S. foreign policy and security, specifically in Southeast Asian region. As a young generation, I just purely want to make awareness in DC area with what is happening in Burma, and then also have a strong root relationship to back home in Burmese people and especially Chin people fighting against military. So I believe that this is my time, like my friend Esther has mentioned, it's my time for me to make a good history and then be part of this history in this Myanmar military democracy movement. I just want to let international organization and DC policymaker to be aware of, fully understand the persistence of the challenges that Burmese people have go through at the moment. So thank you.
Thank you, May. All right, Ben.
Thank you so much, VOC, for having us here. This is my first time, but I'm very happy to be here. So my background is in, my bachelor was in computer science, a minor in philosophy, and then I got my master's in MBA. And, I am developer, software developer by trade, but right now I am, I'm doing a lot of stuff, so that's why I'm trying to, remember stuff here. I am doing, some business on the side, and I am a full-time trader as well. The reason why I am doing what I'm doing right now in terms of advocacy for our people is, as May and Esther mentioned, it's deeply rooted in my faith. I believe that God put me in this position for a reason. If I look at my life, it's not because of it's not because I'm good, or it's not because of I'm better than people who are in Burma right now. It's because of the grace of God, and God put me in this position to speak up for the people who don't have the voice, as I do right now. As American, I'm very fortunate that I can go to DC right now and then speak up for our people. It's really a privilege, and I'm just doing what I think God wants me to do. So, thank you.
All right, thank you, Ben. Thank you so much, guys. Your work is very inspirational, and I want to say thank you for doing what you can do for your country. And the next segue I want to jump right in is obviously the congressional briefing. So, what were your takeaway from the briefing? What motivated you to attend this briefing, and why do you believe this cause is important? And if you can say a little bit about the key takeaways from the event, that would be great. And how did it shape your perspective on ongoing crisis? And we can start with Esther.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Elvin. So the briefing was really important to me because, as I mentioned before, I am a member of Chin Association of Maryland, and we believe that hosting this event can help raise awareness among the diverse groups of people that actually attend. So Ben and May were there, so they probably know among the people that actually attend there were many policymakers, activists, and other very influential individuals in whatever their field is. So we think that it's one way to ensure that our voices are heard in Washington, D.C. Just as Ben said, it's not easy to go and, be a voice for your people, especially for a briefing like this, which is really important. And Chin Association of Maryland have done it 3 times. It's actually our 3rd time. So we are super grateful for all of the people that has helped us along the way. And so during our briefing, there were many several key speakers, but I would like to mention a few people that I thought were super important. The first one is Senator Todd Young from Indiana. He's from the Republican. And then we also have Senator Chris Van Hollen from Maryland, and he is from the Democratic Party, right? So that is really important for the fact that we have 2 parties on that briefing. And we also have someone who is very important in the Burma area, and she's very she is the director of Asia Advocacy, and she told me that she mainly focused on Burma area as of right now. So her name is Caroline Nash. And then we also have Stephen Schneck. He is the chair, United States Commission on International Religious Freedom. And then we also have the NUG acting president who gave a powerful speech. And the speeches that they give, they were urging the U.S. to take a decisive action against the Burmese military coup. And for me personally, it was very reassuring to hear that both the party were committed to speaking with their colleague in Congress about the crisis that is going on in Burma, and for the fact that they emphasized that the need for actions against the Burmese military regime.
Thank you, Esther. All right, May.
Yes, for me, this is my 2nd time attending a congressional briefing to camp. So last year, I get to be a part of the audience. What I saw was that it's mainly focused on Chin community, religious oppression freedom in Burma. But it's so interesting and insightful information how this all different people come together as express their opinion and what their experience is. But this year I want to highlight a little bit is this year I saw many other diverse faces, like not only Christianity, but also get to see Burmese monk who is traveling from New York, Albany, upstate, and then how through that, just me personally, I was like so encouraged to see many diverse, and I see more as like unity after like 2021 coup attempt in Burma. I feel like this people minority not only targeting minority anymore at the same as Burman group, like Buddhist monk, which is 90% of religions back in home. So this is a unity that I see come across together, and then I want to tell people and like show international organizations say that now that we come together as a team, people deeply cares about what is happening in Burma through expressing our freedom rights. So I think that was something I take away as a unity come together. Thank you.
Thank you, May. All right, Ben.
All right. Yeah, it was a fun experience. It was my first time. I want to give a shout out to CAM, Chin Association of Maryland. I want to say thank you to them and Esther, and then their main leader, Pu Zotumhung as well. It was very well organized. And one thing that I see is unity and hope. As May mentioned, and Esther mentioned, we have senators from both sides, right, Republican and Democrat, and then we have religious leader from all kind of religions. We have a Buddhist monk, a Muslim person, a Christian, Catholic, all types of people, and that kind of Burmese people, we are very diverse, but we are not that united, right? And if we see, like we all see it, everything that's happening in the news, right? It's all about this versus this versus this, right? But in that room, I see unity, and unity is strength. So we have all, we have NUG leaders as well, and we have all kinds of leaders. And if they are united, then I think there is a big hope for our people.
So you guys mentioned, you met with leaders from all kinds of backgrounds, and I want to jump right into the engagement with them and also with NUG officials. So, like, we know the NUG leaders, like Foreign Minister Dawson Maong was there. And what insights did you gain from those meetings? And did interaction give you like hope or new strategies for advancing the Chin causes if you guys get a chance to talk to them? So we can start with Esther.
All right. So first of all, for me to be able to be in that room and to be able to listen to the speeches of all of the highly respected people, individuals, for me, it was very inspiring and motivating. And for the very fact that they were there to even talk about the situation in Burma, that was already like a huge motivation for me to realize that, hey, NUG are obviously our leaders, so let alone NUG, but like U.S. Senator and other non-profit organization leaders and director, for them to come together to speak in that room was something that it was really touching, because if other people are doing the work, then we as the Chin people, like, we should be doing something too. So that was really inspiring. And my point of view is a little bit different from Uben and May. I agree that in that room there was unity, but if we listen to all of their speeches at the end, they all talk about the importance of unity. And in Myanmar, there hasn't been, like, we can proudly say that we are united in this one cause or one thing, even though we are going against the military coup or the military regime right now. Even among the Chin people, we are so separated by small groups, small organizations, small diaspora, or like our language, our ethnic. And I think it is important to come together and stay as one voice. Like, even within the Chin people, think about how many organizations we have here and how many fundraising projects that we have done. And all of those little money, they all go towards something that is bigger than us, which is really good. But at the same time, I always think and imagine if they can all come together as one and have a big projects to work on, one focus, I think that will really help us push, and make something that happen or be in a stronger force than we currently are. And so after hearing all of their speeches, I just kind of believe that, the first step toward winning this revolution is to set aside our differences and work together. It's just something that I personally want to carry on as I fight this fight.
For me, I also have different opinion. I was like in that room. The event is organized by Chin Association of Maryland. So which is like I'm like my very proud moment to be Chin young generation. And then in Burma, when we look at the history, Chin minority has been always putting at last, and then we do not have opportunity to hear our voice out in the table. So I was like my deep moment. I was like. We got to invite all these senator, different advocacy, and then even the NUG people, Dozima, and then some other foreign ministry. So the fact that even though we are a small minority in the country back home, we was able to hold and then this kind of event in not only in like little place in Washington D.C. under senator office. So I was like. If we have a given opportunity back home in the people to our people, how much we can have improved and then make a better country. And then also do that, like after 4 years, the coup attempt, like people, of course, like as a human being, we all get tired, disappointed, not unity enough. And then we got slowed down. And then along the way, we have some conflict among ourselves, which is like pretty normal for me, I would say. But the fact that Dozima and then some other advocacy still not like tirelessly, but then they also put effort and then trying to make a better country for the people back home, and then giving hope. It's not easy to come along this process compared to some other country. The movement in Burma has been very fast and fascinated compared to in like if we look at the history in Africa or some part of Europe. So I want to encourage people to still have hope in the people in Burma. We're not forgetting in back home people. They was like they only cares about themselves, how enjoying life. But in here in DC, I want to say that people still speaking out and then willing to represent Burma in the international organization. So that was hope for Burmese people. And then as Chin young generation, we was like, we can do it now. It's our time. So that was for me a little bit.
I agree with Esther and May on that 100%. That we're like, especially the people, we're not united, or we still fight each other. We have this tribalism is very strong in our community, and but a discourse and discussion it's a good start. A dialogue is a good start, and that's what I see there as well. So, and then one thing I want to bring up is, I wasn't going to talk about this, but the more they mention about our NUG leaders, I got flashback of what I see. So, it was my first time meeting Dozin Ma'on, right, and Dr. Sasa as well. I think. In order for someone to be, a good leader, like, Moses in the Bible, or Abraham Lincoln, or Aung San Suu Kyi, right? They all have two things in common, right? They have humility, right? They are very humble. They have humility. So I see that in Dr. Sasa and Dozino. And then bravery, which is, we don't have to say it too much. We see, we read about them, and then we hear about them, right? Dr. Sasa and Dozimo. So that bravery I already knew, but humility that I see when we talk to them, they talk to us like, we are like, same level, which we are not, and I think they have two good traits that are essential to be a good leader. They have that trait. So, I saw that, and, that makes me happy, and then that makes me hopeful for our people, our country. So yeah, I just want to add that. Thank you.
Can I add one more thing? I
Yeah.
forgot to mention about the importance of network. By attending that event, for me personally, I get to talk to some of the speakers at the end, and we exchange a business card, and especially I want to highlight when I talk with Carolyn Nash, the nonprofit organization director. She was very much interested in the thing that is going on in Burma, and I was telling her about how I have gone back home twice and get to meet with everyone and the things that I do and how I advocate. And so one of the things that she mentioned was, I would love to speak to you before you go to another trip next time, or even after, so that we can make something happen out of this. So I thought that was really encouraging, and just want to encourage everyone who have gone back home to not stop, to not their trip end at the end of the trip. When they come back, do more advocacy, talk to people. And networking is very important in this generation. And if you want to be successful in everything that you do, you have to have networking, right? You have to know the right people. You have to know the right person for everything. So attending things like this is very important for our country right now.
Thank you, Esther. As a young leader, what are the biggest challenges facing Chin youth today in Myanmar, particularly concerning human rights and religious freedom? And if Esther, if you want to answer that question, and I have a follow-up question for Mishai.
So for me, just like how I mentioned just now, unfortunately, I don't think we have reached a point where we can truly say that we are working together as one. So this lack of unity is, I feel like, is one of the biggest challenge that we face as Chin youth today. We are a lot more united than we are before, and even when I went back home and talked to a lot of leaders, they mentioned how much we are united now after everything has happened. But every time I go and meet with congressmen and other influential people and policymaker, the thing that they have always mentioned is unity. And even with my experience in speaking at International Religious Freedom Summit, we always talk about the different ethnic groups in Myanmar and the different Chin diaspora. And at the end, one of the questions that they always ask me is, so are you guys working together? You guys are fighting for the same cause, but are you in this together? Is there any collaboration? Is there anything, engagement, or is there anything that you guys are doing together to win this? Because it's hard for other people and international, it's hard for other people to come help us when we ourselves are not united, right? So that is one of the things I would say that is really hard. And like I mentioned before, we're doing so many important work on our own, like fundraising, small group organization projects, and other effort. But that I just think there is a big gap in this collective actions. So coming together as one is very difficult, but I believe that it is essential. And I think that it is something that we can overcome in this generation. But we're starting, we're not there, but I think it's something that we can overcome.
All right. May, I do have follow-up question on this. So what strategies have been the most effective in raising awareness and pushing for meaningful actions? I know you've been here for the second time, and then you've been to a lot of refugee places also. So what are your thoughts on this?
Oh, and for me, I get to do education research in Mizoram, where I get to visit different refugee camp in the Mizoram. So as I witness, I will say I'm deeply concerned about Chin youth getting higher education at the moment, because we have so many young people who is about to graduate, and then they are one of the smartest student in the school, and then even Mizoram State education. Like some Chin youths are pretty like smart and get into able to have the high, like the same level as Mizoram, even though they are IDP at the moment. So I'll say like the fact that CYO, CCB, USA, and like CAMP, like Chin Youth Organization, we get to having different like group visiting back home in Mizoram is like one of awareness that we can always bring back in the state. Like have a open channel with Mizoram people, like we making more influence, like talking to them and then visiting the country, traveling. I think even though we have lack of education at the moment for a young generation, but if we have often like have a relationship open channel with people in Burma, and then maybe CYO can plan out like platform for young people to have like some kind of education, like research. I think that would be a good one we can improve. I think that was the one advocacy that we can do is like to young people from United States going back home, see what is happening in the ground level, and then bringing back and make awareness. It don't have to be only political, also humanitarian, and then maybe giving time then and visiting them is a lot like awareness that we can and deeply show that people back home we cares about them.
I also want to ask Ben. I know your background. You have an MBA, and you also met with Esther and May Shine, and then you've been to DC. And how are the Chin youth mobilizing locally and internationally to advocate for democracy and justice? Since you became more aware of this.
I gotta be honest. I don't think we do. I don't think we advocate for our people as much as we should. That's what I see. I know Esther and May are trying their best. This is my first time, and I know that a lot of people, a lot of youth. I know a lot of youth leaders in our team community. Most of the people don't do it. Maybe they don't know how. Maybe they don't have the platform. But what I want to say to them is, if you guys want to do it, if you guys want to advocate for our people, Chin people, Burmese people, you guys can reach out to Esther, May. I think they are very experienced. You guys can reach out to organization leaders as well, CYO, CBCSA. I think a lot of our leaders are kind of old. They are over 50s, and I think a lot of them never been into back in Burma, they don't have this kind of voice. They don't have this kind of privilege to go to the capital and speak their mind. And I think as young people, we need to start pushing our leaders towards that, so we can have a platform. Because individually, it's very hard to meet with senators and congressmen. It's much easier to go through big organizations, and in order for us young people to go, we need the name of organization, CBUSA, CECUSA, or CYO, right? So I think to start, I think we need to get more involved in our organizations, and then I'll go from there. But I think that's the start.
Thank you for sharing your insights, guys, on that subject. And now I want to move to the impact of military repression on education and opportunities. As you all know, like the military crackdown has several severely disrupted education and career prospects for many young people in Myanmar, as we could see. And how has this affected Chin youth? And I want to start with May on this one, since you've been to a lot of refugee places and stuff.
Thank you, Gavin. So for sure, as we can see, not only in Chin community, in all around the Burma area, like all the young generation got disrupted from the coup attempt. So, but I will say mainly people with a rich background, they can still continue with their education, more or less. But I think for Chin people, minority who doesn't have advanced high access technology, we all just like stop. Like they do not know how to continue to start education. So now that they have a little bit here and there, like a school teaching in the camp, but it's still not enough. Like it's not like how do you say, efficient enough to be called them as a student. It's just more like a babysit them to make sure that they are learning, but they're not also learning. So I think we still need to do a lot of work as a Chin people diaspora group. We should consider what is happening in the ground. Also, I will also say, how do you call this one? But I would like to encourage all these people, like you will be surprised when I visit the camp. Some of the students, they was able to speak English to me. I was so surprised. And then so they use any kind of form to learn their education, like through YouTube or like TikTok or Facebook. So I was surprised. So I want to encourage those like people to be continue learn any by using any kind of form to continue with their education. Yeah, it's very hard. They do not officially get the efficient education that they're supposed to after the coup, but I encourage them to continue learning as with a little access that they can get.
All right. Esther, similar to that question, what urgent steps should be taken to support like displaced students and young professionals, since you also went there twice to see the refugee camps and also other places?
Yeah, first of all, I just want to mention about their struggle once again. When we visit many different camps, refugee camps and IDP camps, we saw that a lot of the students were being taught by the then 9th grader or 10th grader who didn't get to finish their school, their high school, right? And the things that they still use, the textbook that they use are all from Burma, which are very outdated textbook, but they are trying their best to learn Burmese so that when we go back to our country, when we win this war, then they know how to speak Burmese and excel in whatever they're doing, right? And they're also learning English, math, science, but the thing that they learn, the really sad part is that they don't even understand what they are learning, and the system is really broken. We are so already, I would say, we are so used to the way that we were taught in Burma that like even when we went to even when we ran away from them, we are still instilling that knowledge that they have given us, not knowledge, but the education system that they have instilled in us. So I think first of all, changing that mindset is really important. And in order to be able to do that, in order for us to make them think outside of the box, we actually need someone from here, like people who are very educated, people who already have their master's degree, people who already have their bachelor degree, to go back home and give their time. 1 month is not enough. And a lot of time when we go back there, we stay there for 2 weeks, max a month. And that doesn't really change much when it comes to education. So we need young people who are very who love helping our people, who think that it is not just helping, but it's our duty to make our future generation better, to go back there for like 6 months or even a year, to just stay there and teach them everything that they know, train the teachers. I think that would be a first step. And secondly, we are still fighting this war, and like money, we need financial, we need money, and our money is going everywhere right now. And I think it will be a very good idea to invest some of the money into education, not only on weapons, so that when we actually win this war, we will have a future generation who can actually rebuild the country. As of right now, we're just focusing on fighting so much that we forgot about our children who will be doing the rebuilding part. And without education, it's hard to rebuild, and we might fall back where we start off from. So I think investing our financial in education and letting our youth here go back home and do the work would be the first step that we can take.
All right, thank you, Esther. All right, Ben, I want to ask you also kind of like a similar question, but I know your background is MBA. You also have education from like technologies and stuff. I know you may have not like visited like a lot of like refugee places and things like that, but after hearing from May, Esther, and like other people who might have been there, what are your thoughts on future of this?
Oh man, yeah. This is a topic that's very close to my heart as well. Um, you know, let me share a little bit about my story. I was not a very good student back in Burma, right? And and not a very good one.
Me
But
too.
then, so when I got to Malaysia, I think I was around 10. It was around, when we were around 10, 9, 10, 11. I think that's very crucial in our life, right? And um, w- so I lived in Malaysia for 2 years, and those 2 years were probably the most important years of my life. The reason why I say that is because of my teachers, and I went to CSO, right? Was Chin Students Organization, right? And that's where I learned math. That's where I learned. I had a very very good teachers who love um, who love our people. So my teachers, they always teach. They always teach us about not just schoolwork, but to love our people. Our literature, right? Like everything. That's where that kind of teaching installed in me, and then that's like I would not be here without them. That's what I'm trying to say. Those 2 years, right? What I'm trying to say is when we were young, 1 year, 2 years, they are very, very, very important in terms of education. If you fall behind for like 2 years, you are like behind in life, basically. And what I worry a lot is that we don't know how long this war will last. Statistically speaking, this Burma civil war is the longest civil war ever in the history of the modern history. And this is just one of it's one of the phases that we're experiencing right now, and this could go on for years. And I think we need to stop giving ourselves false hopes. That can lead to very dangerous place. So the reality is that we don't know how long this war will last, and we don't know how long the children, the students will be in Mizoram without education, or Lightlang where they have refugee camps. So we don't know how long they will stay there. We are acting like this is a temporary thing and it will be over in a few months or even like next week. That's not the truth. And we need to spend more money, more resources in education. Period. If not, the future of our generation is basically gone. If we look at what's going on in Burma right now, like the whole Tentlang is gone. Hakka, they probably won't have as good of education as they used to, or any other states in Burma because of all the stuff that's going on right now. I'm 100% sure they are not gonna have a good education, and we can focus on that, but most importantly, the people that we think will come back soon. So the people that were locating and fleeing in Mizoram right now, who don't have teachers, who don't have textbook. Uh, so those people, we need to find them a way. So it could like one way would be like pay for every kid's tuition by an organization, or if it's in Laikote, right, build them a very nice school. Like we don't know how long they'll stay. Build them a very nice school. Pay the teachers high salary. High salary there, over there is not that much. So give them the best teachers, give them the best buildings. That would be the foundation of our future. And for like the top students, right, who we always have this, we always have brilliant students, brilliant kids in any generation, any nation, right? I'm pretty sure we have some too. For those people, we can have, I always say this, we can like big organization like CBC USA, right, we can have a partnership with online accredited school, and if who knows, they could even give them scholarships for free, give them grants, the kids. We can have that kind of partnership because people are nicer than we think. Some organizations are nicer than we think. We can be like a tax deductible too, it's kind of like a donation as well. So there are so many things that can happen that we're not doing right now as big organizations. So yeah, those are some of the things I want to say. And if more topic comes up, I'll say more. But thank you.
So we talk about, you met with a bunch of like leaders, and you also talk about going back there, what you meant, your experiences and stuff, and your thoughts about, education and the future of like Chinland and refugees camps. So now I want to talk about is the call to action for policymakers and international communities, not just Chin people, like international people. What messages do you want to send to U.S. policymakers, advocacy groups, and the global community regarding the situation in Myanmar? And I want to start with Esther.
So the military junta in Myanmar continue to oppress the Chin people and other minority, thereby violating our basic human rights and religious freedom, as we all know. So I urge that the international community must not remain silent, and I urge the U.S. policymaker and global leaders to take decisive actions. Number one is to impose stricter sanction on military regime to cut off their financial route and to hold them accountable, right, for human rights violations, and to provide humanitarian aid to refugees and for IDPs, which is very important, and support the educational initiative that we just talked about, and back up organizations that advocate for religious freedom and democracy in Myanmar. And not only that, I also have, I would also like to urge the Chin youth to step out of our comfort zone and step beyond our community and start advocating for the international stage by engaging directly with U.S. policymaker or global organization to make our voices heard, so that we can bring attention to our cause, which is really important.
For me, I would say that having U.S. foreign policy classes, I feel like Burma has been forgotten so long for international organization, and specifically for the United States, because they always backsliding Southeast Asian country as like backup / like transactional condition when it comes to China power competition. So I do believe that I want to say the DC policymaker and international organization leader to be not to overlook what is happening in Burma at the moment. I want them to be like, I want them to tell that Burmese people are remain ready and then willing to collaborate with the policymaker and to build a better nation, strengthen their global standing, like especially if the U.S. want to have influence in Southeast Asia again for one more time, then I believe that this is a good time for them to reconsider their policy tour in Southeast Asia, especially like ASEAN itself have 5-point consensus, like we all know, to make an action, but which is not effective enough. So I think if they want to have a true democracy, as they always promote it as American core value, then I think they should reconsider and then have a stronger collaboration with people in the Southeast Asian, not only, but other international organizations through using multilateral like cooperation. And then also, not only that, purely hearing a story from Burmese people who advocate for what is happening in the ground. And then also for second one, I think for Chin people, I want them to have unite especially in like a third country in the US as a young generation, because in Burma it's very hard for them to unite. I understand, because of having a brainwash from older generation based on our dialect, division, and location. But in the US, we are speaking English as together, and then we are in this country for like a good, like, what is it? Here for like the same opportunity, and we all are in the same here. So instead of having, oh, you are that part of Chin, I'm this part of Chin, I'm way better than them. Instead of that, like, we need to realize that we need to come together here as first to be reflect in the people in the ground. So unity, and then also supporting Chin youth and other like prospect minority that struggle in Burma, and then religious freedom by acknowledging their powerful story. You as a policymaker can engage constructively and then to discuss and hear from their voice, maybe to reconnect them through like political, not only political mainly, but the economic and humanitarian assistance will be open channel to reconnect with people in Burma for a true federal democracy.
All right, Ben, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, the things that they've said, it's. I think I don't have to say much already. I think those are very, very powerful and the very powerful words. But one thing I want to say is, Burma is. I think if you look for any type of persecution, oppression, it's there. No, look further, like don't like it's there. Any kind, in terms of religious or anything, minority, ethnic cleansing, it's there. Burma is basically, I don't want to say it, but I don't want to say a junk, but it's any type of problems that in terms of humanity, religious persecution, it's there. And I think that since we don't get a lot of coverage in the news, I think that we're overlooked. Since we're not in, I think I would say, a strategic place on Earth. Maybe that's why they don't care about us. But people in Burma are dying, and there are no news about it. And I watched Rainbow, the one that came out in 2008. I watched that movie again a few days ago, and the things that happening, things that happen in that movie is not too different from the thing that's happening in Burma right now, in all areas of Burma. So we need to people all over the world, people in DC, people from the UN, all in international stages. We need your help in terms of humanity, in terms of, I don't know, anything, any help can go a very long way. Even $10, $20 in terms of, financial help, in terms of humanity, all kinds of help. Like Burma, it's not doing, it's worse than it has ever been. And I think that we are in a very critical situation. And if you want to make a change in your life, if you want to make a big impact in your life, I think this is the right time, and Burma is the right place. Thank you.
All right, guys. Last question, but before you guys answer the question, one thing I want to ask with that is how can the Chin youth who doesn't know and aware of the whole situation, how can they best support the whole situation in Burma, and platform like this? We're doing the best we can to support and give the awareness, but what are the other ways that you think of, So please, if you don't mind, you can also add that for the last question. Thank you so much. So we can start with Esther.
I might not have catch all of the questions, but I think the way you can get your voice heard and the way that you can get involved is, first, you need to know what is going on in Burma. You need to know what is going on with your people and how they are suffering, right? Only then you can be their voice. So you need to understand. You need to, if you can understand their feeling, you won't be able to speak for them, in a place for them. So understand their story, know your root, know where you come from, and know about your country. Educate yourself first, and then second would be talk to people that are already going in front of you in this fight. So talk to the people that you see on screen today to see how you can get involved. And there are many ways that you can get involved. And you can send letter to your senator. You can send letter to your, county mayor, or anyone who is in influential position, individuals where they can be of help. So there is a way to get help. And everything is so easy to find these days. You can just Google it if you don't want to talk to people, you can Google it. But if you want to learn more about it, if you want to know more about it, talk to the right people. And I think a lot of time we kind of overlook what our the elder in our community can do. They are very educated with what is going on in Burma. And if you need evidence, if you need supporting informations, they are always I think they are always open to be talked to, and I think they are more than happy when you actually ask them questions. So yeah, if you first I say get educated, and two, be the voice for the voiceless by talking to your representative, your senator, and other influential people. Thank you.
Oh, for me, I will say as I talking to people around my age, they will say, "Oh, I don't study politics, so it's not for my job." I hear that like a couple of times, but I want to say that it's not all about politics. Like you like politics or not, like everything is related to politics, especially in back home. You have the root, like a background, big background. You from that land, so like I do believe that. Like I think people who know like ground level, and then people who work closely with Burmese people, Chin people, like especially like Chin National Day, CYO, and then so many other group hosting like the young people event. I think they should like promote more than it used to be. Not only like pretty picture, not like standing or costume, but also I think they should figure more about like what is happening and what really people are going through back home. And I think they should promote more than before. And then also people in the US and any other place, whatever you study is not all, it doesn't only have to be politics. Whatever degree that you have, they are like, we need any kind of field in order to promote like urban, so like computer science, like so like they can do so many platforms to promote like that. So I think people all kind of feel we want you, and then don't be discouraged to be not to be part of it. Go to like our like Chin people event, and then if you want to learn more about it, so that way you can contribute any other way. It doesn't only have to be politics. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, May. All right, Ben, last thought.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, you don't have to be a computer science, no, not computer science, or a political science major, or public policy major to make your voices heard. I know politics is very exhausting sometimes, very exhausting, because there are so many news, and then you got to keep up. But it's exhausting, but it's rewarding as well, especially what we're doing right now, advocating for our people. Exhausting but rewarding. I think, like Esther and May said, start with you. It's exhausting, but read or listen to the news. What's going on? What's going on in Burma? What's going on in Chin State? What's going on around in the United States? Politically, everything. Get educated. Become it has a different tone, but it's good to get yourself educated on the politics of what's going on. That's first. And second would be start with the community. In Chin communities, I mean, in the United States, I think all of us has Chin community in our community, right? For example, Indiana have CCI, right? Chin community of Indiana, right? Dallas have, I don't know what Dallas has, but I know they have one. Every state, every city, we have Chin community, and through that, it's very easy to talk to our representatives, senators, and even governors, and all those congressmen. And that's when and then not only that, like once we get connection and contact with our local representative, then we can even go to DC and talk to even higher people. Maybe one day we might be able to talk to the president regarding this issue, but it got to start somewhere, and it got to start with you. It got to start local, and then it will reach the top, and then that's when changes happen. So I just want to say, start with you, and then local, and then we go from there. We will do our best, and it is as cringy as it is. God will do the rest, right? But we gotta do our job.
Thank you, everyone. Benjamin Lien, Esther, May Shine. I hope this message, our interview, questions, answers, hope inspire a lot of Chin youth. And going forward, good luck to you guys. May God be with you guys on all of the works that you are planning to do. We want to do the best we can, and the youth voice is the most important, in my opinion, because we are the next leaders. We are the next people who were, trailblazers. So because of our work, we'll inspire a lot of people and hopefully change the world for Chin people in the future. So thank you so much. And for the audience, please follow us on YouTube, Facebook, all of their social media that we have. And thank you so much for listening to our exclusive interview with these young Chin people. Thank you.